My name is John, and I've always been a skeptic when it comes to ghost stories and paranormal tales. However, one night curiosity got the better of me. I decided to take a shortcut on a desolate highway, known for its hauntings and legends of ghosts that lurks around midnight. As the clock ticked down to midnight, I set out on a journey that would forever change my perception of the supernatural. The highway was enveloped in an eerie silence. The only sounds were the soft whispers of the wind and the faint hum of my engine. As I continued, the darkness seemed to swallow the road ahead, making it difficult to see more than a few feet in front of me. As I drove deeper into the heart of it, I noticed strange shadows darting across the road. I dismissed them as tricks of the mind, attributing them to my growing unease. But as the shadows multiplied and seemed to form unsettling shapes, a chill ran down my spine. In the distance, I spotted a figure standing at the roadside, thumb outstretched. It was a woman, dressed in a tattered white gown, appeared to be hitchhiking. Or so it seemed. So with my stupidity and kind heart, I decided to stop and offer her a ride. Boy, what a big mistake that was, as she opened the back door and sat in the back seat without saying a word. The air inside the car turned icy cold, and I shivered despite the warm heater. I tried to engage her in conversation, but her responses were nothing more than chilling whispers, as if warning me of the dangers ahead. I couldn't quite shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The shadows outside the car seemed to gather around us, and the atmosphere grew suffocating. The woman in the back seat never revealed her destination, nor her name, so I feared I picked up something otherworldly. A sudden gust of wind rattled the windows, and I caught a glimpse of her reflection in the rearview mirror. Her eyes were hollow and lifeless, and her face bore the marks of untold suffering. Panic surged within me, and I knew I had to escape this spectral passenger. In a burst of courage, I pulled the car over and demanded she leave. But when I turned to look, the back seat was empty. The woman had vanished into thin air. A cold dread washed over me as I knew the hitchhiker was no ordinary hitchhiker. She was a ghost haunting this haunted highway. I fumbled to start the engine, desperate to put as much distance between me and the ghost. Yet my efforts were in vain as the car stalled, leaving me stranded in darkness, so with no choice but to venture on foot, I stepped out into the chilling night. The darkness seemed to engulf me, and the sound of footsteps echoed from every direction. Fear gnawed at my sanity as the realistic thought that I was not alone on this forsaken highway. All of a sudden, I hear whispers dancing in the wind, voices of the deceased calling out from the void. Phantom lights flickered in the distance, leading me astray and further into the heart of the haunted realm. Panic gripped me, and I ran blindly, unsure of the way back to my car. As I stumbled through the darkness, I saw them, the faces peering from the roadside, their eyes glowing like malevolent fireflies. Each figure wore an expression of agony, trapped in eternal torment on this haunted highway. They were all around me, whispering my name with their mournful wails piercing through my very soul. I was trapped in a nightmarish realm between the living and the dead, where the boundaries of reality blurred, and the rules of the living world ceased to apply. Just when I thought all hope was lost, a faint glimmer of light pierced the darkness. A lone gas station stood like a beacon in the distance. I ran towards it, praying that it was real, and not another trick of the haunting apparitions. As I reached the gas station, the haunting ceased, and the world returned to a semblance of normality. The gas station attendant found me in a state of distress and confusion, but I could only mutter fragmented tales of the horrors I had witnessed. To this day, the memory of that night haunts me like a relentless nightmare. I've become a recluse, unable to shake the terror that enveloped me on that haunted highway. The supernatural realm and the ghosts of that forsaken road are etched in my mind forever. I warn anyone who dares to travel the haunted highway at night. Beware the shadows that dance along the road, for they may hold spirits yearning to share their sorrowful tales. The desolate path is a gateway to the unknown, and those who venture there may lose more than their way. They may lose their grip on reality itself. You have been warned.